Así que voy a llamar primero que todo a los capitanes de equipa, al capitán, yo tengo que leer, no vaya a confundirme los colores porque me matarían. El capitán de la equipa azul, Heiner Hussemeyer, y el capitán del equipo rojo, Jérôme Grassin. Please, you take the central seats. Luego están dos otros representantes, Johannes Kapman del Red Team, you are, y Matt Sienekens del Team, ¿está Matt? Así. Del Team Azul, y luego los dos representantes de Cepi, Marco Mensing y Bernardo Galambert. Como pueden ver, tienen las corbatas adecuadas. Y esto es para que yo no me equivoque. Muy bien. Voy a cambiar al inglés para ser más fácil para todos contestar. First of all, and very quickly, we don't have a lot of time, tell us, is it really fun? Then laugh.
Yes, it is.
Yes?
It's for several reasons, as you rightly said in the presentation, because there is competition, and I have to say that in Cepi, we try to fuel this competition as much as we can. It's a friendly one, so we are not fighting nor killing each other, but at least the spirit is there. It's fun because we are motivated, because we think we might do something and contribute to the future of the industry. And the more we progress in the team meetings, the more this impression gets firm and solid in our mind. We will do the difference, we'll make the difference in the teams. I won't go further because I see that my competitor is already jumping on the mic and wants to...
I'll be the referee.
To challenge.
The fun part is that the red team doesn't see what's coming, which means that most of the Aspapel board here has a blue tie already. And that's already one measure you can see we take as a precaution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You can sort out blue and red and the winning ones. But the answer is really that the competition keeps us alive. And we seriously don't know what the other team is doing. There's different web spaces. There's sort of a glass wall in the middle of the office. And after every meeting, which we have tomorrow, we come out of the meeting going like, problem solved, we really did it this time. If it's true or not, he gets really nervous. And then the red team comes in and we say, look, no activity on your web space for at least a week while we invented the world. So
now, I'm the one who has most fun of anybody, because after each meeting, Bernard comes to me and tells me what happened in the meeting, and then Marco comes to me and reports on the meeting, and I just laugh internally because I cannot make any comments or appreciation. So I'm the one having fun. Okay, Marco, since you have the mic, what was the last breakthrough technology developed by the industry that we have to go beyond now?
it's a question I will not give the answer to in 1 sec, because all of you should come up with the answer. We did the same in Cepi board, which is the CEOs of all the European companies. And we asked, what's the last breakthrough that happened in the sector? Jussi Pesonen of UPM said it's bio, and I said no, and since then he supports the red team. But according to us, the last breakthrough is the shoe press. I see a few paper makers now.
And that was how long ago?
21 years ago. And the last breakthrough before that was the recovery boiler, 1929. Before that, there was a machine
Thanks
called...
for your answer, so we don't get all depressed.
No. Before that, there was a machine called the Hollander, which makes me really proud as a Dutchman. That was real history. But shoe press 21 years ago, and that's what we'll have to reinvent in the next years in much bigger steps as such.
Heiner, do you think it's possible to accomplish this in such a short period of time? Heiner is, as you can see, from the blue team.
I think we can spot where we should bring our efforts in the future. I don't think we as a small team with 16 persons can solve the future of the whole industry within half a year basically. But I think we can clearly show and point where our colleagues from institutes and universities have to make more progress in the next years, and we can align the industry on its spots and get finally our targets solved by that.
And Jérôme, what are the hot spots in the process that the teams are likely to focus on? The objective really is to, the objective of reducing CO2 is very linked to energy, of course. So what are the hot spots? And Jérôme is from the red team.
Yeah, I think the energy issue, I mean, reducing CO2, we shouldn't, tackle the wrong target. Namely, today you can do it by buying electricity made from, windmills, solar energy, etc., and reduce your CO2. So that's not the issue. The issue is really to reduce the energy consumption in the processes themselves. And then ultimately you can reduce the CO2 imprint. So that's the first challenge. The second is really to imagine processes totally different and the unthinkable, I should say. And what can you do with this process? Possibly, ultimately generate new products beyond the products we are familiar with today. And this is the challenge at the same time, I would say rejuvenating, because this offers opportunity, for this industry, to really restart. And I wish I would be 40 years younger.
No. You still have a lot to contribute. Johannes, will it be a revolution or just an evolution? In your opinion, where will the best breakthrough technologies come from?
Oh, I think this is kind of a trap laid out by the blue team to maybe talk about things that I shouldn't talk about. In fact, everybody is talking about nano, and for sure we're talking about nano as well. And water is clearly something that bothers us, and we'll have to go and deal with that as well. But as I said, I won't go into the details there. Talking about evolution or revolution, I think this is an important question, since a revolution will include huge efforts also economically that have to be taken in order to accomplish this new stage of development. And within this current situation and within the next years, that might prove difficult. So we need some evolutionary steps to approach the final concept, which in the light of today might seem revolutionary. And the second thought I would like to share with you is something we learned, for example, at Lenzing. They took up a patent that was 19 years old, I think, and made that a big business. And I would say most of the ideas that the red team will use and will be successful with are already there. And so we have it already in our hands, I would say, this future that we have to manage and have to master. And I would say that there is really something that we can do.
Mm-hmm. So, Matt, Johannes is telling us about the interface with other sectors. How we've been now to 3, to 2, today will be another one. How will this interface be inspiring, or how is it already inspiring? And from which sectors do you think we have the most to learn?
The most probable solution will be found in a full integration of the chain. Basically, future economy will be based on biomass. And the worst thing that could be happening is that all of us start fighting for the same limited amount of biomass. So for obvious reason, a full integration needs to be thought of, needs to be developed, which takes into consideration the energy production, which takes into consideration fuel, chemistry, and for obvious reasons, paper and pulp. Where we are, let's say, the partner that leases the fiber, that has the infrastructure for the complete biomass, and that can play an important role making it for the other sectors possible to play their role based on a bio-based economy. So it's a full chain integration. However, it cannot stop there. If you look to today's sector and consider the infrastructure that really brings us to carrying raw materials and paper and board across Europe, or in some instances even across the globe, for obvious reasons, that also has to be reconsidered. So in my view, and then coming back to the question, evolution or revolution, it must be a complete redesign of every single unit operation in between. So in that, it can only be a revolution.
So without disclosing what is going on, will the outcome be a surprise to the sector?
Without disclosing, then the answer can only be yes.
And the red team thinks the same thing, I suppose.
Sure.
Okay. Bernard, how can the Spanish members participate in this exercise?
Yeah, at least you have shown on your slides the website, and I would say that's the first entry point to have access and know what's going on. So it not only is a way for you to provide input, and if you go, and I really urge you to visit this website, you can either become a fan of one team, and of course, red is the best, or you can submit ideas. Who said blue? Or you can submit ideas if you think that you can contribute and add to the background, the library that we are looking at, and we're still in the process of thinking and adding new things. We're really, it's a process as such. But we are also extremely active on the social media. So go LinkedIn, go Facebook, go Twitter, we are everywhere. We try to reach out as much as we can, and we really want you to be active and join us in this exercise. So on LinkedIn, we every now and then put questions to a group and to the members we connect to on LinkedIn, or we have polls, questions, etc. And that's all the ways and the means to communicate, interact with us, and supply us with new opinions, ideas, and even you might challenge us and stimulate by maybe fueling further the competition.
Now, one thing that you cannot do is to talk to the Spanish representative in the teams, because he is under strict confidentiality and non-disclosure agreements. One last question to all of you. Who will win?
Matt pretends he will. I think the real winner will be the industry. Now, on the way, we hope that the red team will be winning, of course. But we want to contribute to the industry as a winner.
Heiner, I thought you wanted to say something.
Just remember, as Teresa mentioned in her presentation, these are concepts. So this will not help your profitability in the next 5 years. It's much longer term. So it must be ambitious. That's where the surprise lies. But of course, it requires research, development, and as you've seen on the schedule, it's not something which will be ready in the next 5 or next 10 years.
Yeah.
It's important to remember. I mean, it's the...
Yeah, and I would like to say that the reason why we need to finish it this year is because in 2014, the new framework program, European Framework Program for Research and Innovation will start. And then we need the industry to come up with projects, concrete projects, to apply for those fundings. Heiner, you wanted to say the last word?
Not really, but I just want to underline that again. Now we put the questions, and with these questions our institutes and universities can apply in the Horizon 2020 for money for the next steps. And as said, it will not be finished by the end of the year. The big questions will be there, but I think without questions we will never come to the future. And therefore I fully agree, the industry will win, and of course our team.
You want to finish up?
I think this is very important, that the major change is that industry is from focusing on problems, converting to a look into the future, and really focusing on progress, on innovation, and raising funds for development. This is most important. I think that we have another direction for our work.
I have an idea, Carlos. Why don't you organize a betting system within Aspapel to see who will win? Okay. Well, I would like you to join me in thanking the representatives of the two teams and on wishing them indiscriminately to both of them the best luck. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.